The message that changed everything. Captain Marcus Vale stood in the command center of the exploration vessel Starbound Pioneer, watching the endless expanse of stars through the reinforced viewing ports. He had spent 15 years exploring the galaxy's outer reaches, mapping new systems and searching for signs of intelligent life. Today, that search had finally ended. The ship's communication officer, Lieutenant Jessica Park, turned from her station with wide eyes. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission on all frequencies. It's not human, sir." Marcus felt his heart race as he moved to the main display screen. After decades of wondering if humanity was alone in the universe, first contact was finally happening. The crew gathered around as the screen flickered to life, revealing something that made everyone gasp in amazement. First contact with the Galactic Council. A massive alien figure appeared before them, through advanced holographic technology. The being stood nearly 4 meters tall with 6 arms and skin that shimmered like polished metal. Its eyes glowed with an eerie blue light as it began speaking in perfect English, its voice booming with authority. "I am High Regent Kelvox of the Zorathian Hegemony Council," the alien announced. "We have been watching your pathetic species for the past century. Your kind crawls through space like insects, polluting star systems with your primitive technology." Marcus stepped forward, his diplomatic training taking over despite his shock. "I am Captain Marcus Vale, representing Earth and all human colonies. We welcome this historic first contact and hope we can establish peaceful relations." The alien's laugh was cold and mocking. "Peaceful relations? You misunderstand your position, human. This is not a meeting between equals. This is a judgment." The insulting verdict. High Regent Kelvox's image moved closer, his glowing eyes filled with contempt. "The Zorathian Council has evaluated your species and found you severely lacking. You wage constant wars against your own kind. You destroy your planet's environment without thought. You spread through space with weapons and aggressive intentions like a virus." Around the bridge, Marcus's crew exchanged worried glances. Communications Officer Park quietly began recording everything, while Navigator Tom Chen checked their ship's defensive systems. Engineer Rachel Stone monitored their engines, ready for anything. "Your species represents everything wrong with primitive civilizations," Kelvox continued. "You are violent, short-sighted, and completely unfit for galactic citizenship. The Council has decided that humanity must be controlled before you become a threat to civilized worlds." Marcus felt anger rising in his chest. "We've made mistakes, but we've also shown incredible progress. We've united our world, ended most conflicts, and reached for the stars with hope and curiosity." "Silence!" Kelvox roared. "Your opinion is irrelevant. The Council's decision is final." The humiliating ultimatum. The alien regent's voice became even more condescending. "Humanity will immediately surrender all weapons technology to the Zorathian Council. Your military vessels will be dismantled and recycled. Your colonies will be governed by our administrators who understand proper civilization." Marcus's hands clenched into fists. "You're asking us to become slaves in our own worlds." "You will work in designated areas under Council supervision," Kelvox replied coldly. "You will produce resources for the greater galactic community. In return, you will be fed basic rations and housed in appropriate facilities. This is more mercy than most primitive species receive." The bridge fell silent except for the soft hum of the ship's systems. Marcus looked at his crew and saw the same determination burning in their eyes that he felt in his own heart. These were people who had chosen to explore space, to push humanity's boundaries, to seek out new worlds and possibilities. Earth's time to choose. "You have 72 hours to broadcast your complete surrender to all human worlds," Kelvox declared. "If you refuse, the Council's pacification fleet will demonstrate why we have ruled this galaxy for 5,000 years. Every human world will be reduced to ash, and your species will be remembered only as another failed experiment in evolution." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Marcus immediately activated the emergency quantum communication array that would send their recording to Earth at faster than light speeds. Within hours, Marcus's message reached every human settlement across the solar system. In government buildings, space stations, and colony domes throughout human space, people watched the alien ultimatum with growing anger and determination. The Zorathian Council expected humanity to bow down like frightened children. They were about to discover that Earth's children had inherited something far more dangerous than weapons or technology. They had inherited the human spirit that had never surrendered to any force in the universe. The emergency session. The Global Defense Coalition headquarters in Geneva buzzed with urgent activity as representatives from every human world gathered for the most important meeting in human history. President Victoria Stone stood at the central podium, her silver hair catching the light from the massive screens displaying the alien threat. Around her, delegates from Mars, Luna, the asteroid colonies, and the outer planet stations waited, in tense silence. Fellow humans, President Stone began, her voice carrying across billions of screens throughout human space. We face a choice that will define our species forever. The Zorathian Council believes we are primitive savages who will bow to their threats. They expect us to surrender our freedom, our dignity, and our future without a fight. The chamber stirred, as murmurs of anger rippled through the crowd. The delegate from the Mars colonies, Governor James Wright, stood up first. Madam President, my people didn't risk everything to terraform a dead world just to hand it over to alien overlords. Mars stands ready to fight. Similar voices rose from every section. The lunar representative spoke of miners who died building humanity's first off-world colonies. The asteroid belt delegate mentioned engineers who risked their lives in deep space to fuel human expansion. The Jupiter station speaker talked about scientists who worked in dangerous conditions to advance human knowledge. Hidden strengths, revealed Commander Rex Harrison, head of Earth's Strategic Defense Force, stepped forward. He was a tall man with gray temples and scars from the colony wars. There are things the Zorathian Council doesn't know about us, he said quietly. Capabilities we've developed in secret, preparations we've made for exactly this scenario. The chamber fell silent as Harrison activated a holographic display, showing star charts with mysterious installations scattered throughout the solar system. For the past 30 years, we've been preparing for the possibility of hostile first contact. Every major asteroid has been converted into a kinetic weapons platform. Every space station has hidden defense systems. Every cargo ship carries concealed armaments. Dr. Nathan Cross, Earth's chief scientist, rose from his seat. He was a small man with intense eyes who had spent decades developing humanity's most advanced technologies. Project Sentinel has been operational for 15 years, he announced. We've created weapons that use exotic matter, shields that can deflect energy attacks, and propulsion systems that make our ships faster than anything the galaxy has seen. The Martian terraforming engineer, Patricia Wells, added her voice. Our environmental systems can be weaponized. The same technology that creates atmospheres can destroy them. The tools that build worlds can unmake them just as easily. The voice of humanity's spirit, young Representative Kevin Murphy from the Europa Research Station, stood up. He was barely 25, but his words carried the passion of humanity's next generation. My grandfather fought in Earth's last World War. My parents died establishing the first permanent base under Europa's ice. Every generation of humans has faced extinction and survived. We didn't crawl out of Earth's gravity well just to become slaves to aliens who think they're better than us. The chamber erupted in agreement as humanity's representatives spoke with one voice. The delegate from Titan mentioned explorers who pushed into the outer system's deadly radiation. The belt representative talked about miners who worked in conditions that would kill most species. The Deep Space Station delegate spoke of researchers who lived years in isolation to advance human understanding. Ambassador Linda Torres, Earth's most experienced diplomat, requested permission to speak. I've studied the Zorathian transmission extensively. Their language patterns suggest they've never encountered genuine resistance. Every species they've conquered submitted immediately after seeing their fleet. They're not prepared for a species that chooses death over slavery. Engineer Blake Morrison, joining by quantum link from the Outer System defense platforms, added his analysis. Their technology is impressive but predictable. They rely on overwhelming force and intimidation. Human engineering has always focused on innovation and adaptability. We can match their size with ingenuity. The decision that shook the galaxy. President Stone raised her hand for silence. The weight of humanity's future rested on her shoulders as she looked out at the faces of people who had never known defeat. The question isn't whether we can fight, she said solemnly. The question is whether we will fight. The Galactic Council rules dozens of species. Their fleets have conquered entire star systems. Are we prepared for the consequences of defiance? The answer came not from any single voice, but from every human in the chamber speaking at once. Yes. Dr. Cross activated another display showing humanity's hidden fleet positions. Our ships are already moving into position throughout the solar system. If the Zorathians want a war, we'll give them one they'll never forget. Commander Harrison nodded grimly. Every human colony has activated its defense protocols. Every ship is on high alert. Every weapon system is charged and ready. We've spent decades preparing for this moment. President Stone looked around the chamber one final time, seeing the determination that had driven humanity from cave dwellers to star travelers burning in every face. Then it's decided. Send this message to High Regent Kelvox and his Zorathian Council. Humanity rejects your ultimatum. We will not surrender our freedom. We will not become your slaves. If you want to rule over humans, you'll have to defeat us first. As the message raced toward the alien fleet, every human in the galaxy knew that their species had just declared war on an empire that had never known defeat. The Zorathian Council was about to learn why humanity had never bowed to any power in the universe. The Galaxy Watch's High Regent Kelvox stood aboard the massive command ship Dominion's Wrath, staring at the small blue planet that dared to defy the Zorathian Council. Behind him, his fleet of 200 warships stretched across space like a metal storm cloud. Each vessel carried enough firepower to crack a moon in half, and the combined fleet could reduce entire star systems to cosmic dust. These humans are even more foolish than we calculated, sneered Admiral Vorthak, the fleet's second in command. His 4 eyes gleamed with anticipation as he reviewed the tactical displays. Their pathetic response shows they have no understanding of real power. Shall we destroy their homeworld first to teach them proper respect? Kelvox shook his massive head. No. We will crush their outer colonies first. Let them watch their settlements burn one by one. Fear will make them more compliant when they finally surrender. Throughout the galaxy, representatives from dozens of alien species watched the confrontation unfold. The Council had invited them to witness humanity's destruction as a warning to any who might consider future rebellion. Most expected the conflict to last mere hours. The attack on Luna Station Captain Marcus Vale received the emergency alert while his ship patrolled the outer system. The Zorathian fleet had appeared near Earth's moon without warning, their advanced stealth technology allowing them to bypass early warning systems. Luna Station, humanity's oldest off-world colony, was under direct attack. All ships, this is Captain Vale aboard Starbound Pioneer, he broadcast across all frequencies. Converge on Luna Station immediately. This is not a drill. The aliens have started shooting. Through his view screen, Marcus watched in horror as massive energy beams lanced down from the alien ships, striking Luna Station's defensive shields. The ancient facility shuddered under the assault, its protective barriers flickering dangerously. Home to 50,000 colonists, Luna Station represented humanity's first steps into space. Lieutenant Jessica Park monitored the communications channels, her face pale with concentration. Captain, I'm receiving distress calls from all across the lunar surface. The mining facilities, research labs, and residential domes are all under attack. Navigator Tom Chen pulled up tactical displays, showing the enemy formation. Sir, they're using some kind of coordinated assault pattern. Each ship is targeting specific locations while maintaining defensive positions. They're not just attacking randomly. They're trying to cripple our infrastructure. Humanity's unexpected defense. What the Zorathians didn't expect was the speed of humanity's response. Within minutes of the first attack, hidden weapons platforms throughout the asteroid belt activated simultaneously. Commander Harrison's secret preparations revealed themselves as camouflage defense stations emerged from hollowed-out asteroids, their powerful railguns targeting the alien fleet. Pilot Zoe Turner launched her fighter squadron from the concealed base inside Ceres. Her small craft, equipped with Dr. Cross's experimental weapons, streaked toward the massive alien vessels like angry hornets. "This is Viper Squadron," she radioed to all human forces. "Time to show these overgrown bullies what human ingenuity looks like." The first kinetic rounds struck the Zorathian ships before they could react. The aliens had grown complacent after millennia of easy victories against species that surrendered at the first show of force. Their shields, designed to deflect energy weapons, proved less effective against humanity's solid projectile weapons traveling at significant fractions of light speed. Engineer Blake Morrison watched from his command post in the belt as his modified cargo haulers revealed their true nature. External panels fell away to expose weapon systems that had been disguised as mining equipment. "Target their command ship," he ordered his captains. "Let's see how tough they are when they can't coordinate their attacks." The tide begins to turn high. Regent Kelvox staggered as his flagship shook under multiple impacts. Alarms blared throughout. The bridge as damage reports flooded in from across the fleet. "Impossible!" he roared. "These primitives don't have weapons capable of penetrating our shields." Admiral Vorthak's face showed the first signs of concern. "Sir, we're detecting over 300 human combat vessels approaching from multiple vectors. Our intelligence reports indicated they had fewer than 50 military ships in their entire fleet." The truth was becoming clear to the Zorathian commanders. Every human vessel, from the smallest research probe to the largest cargo transporter, had been converted into a potential warship. The species they had dismissed as primitive savages had turned their entire civilization into a hidden military force. Captain Vale's ship joined the growing battle as human vessels swarmed around, the alien fleet like wolves attacking a herd of giants. "All ships focus fire on their engines and communication arrays," he commanded. "We can't match their armor, but we can blind them and strand them." Pilot Turner led her squadron in a daring attack run against the flagship's sensor array. Her fighter took heavy damage from defensive fire, but she managed to deliver a critical hit that disrupted the alien fleet's coordination. As her ship spun out of control, she ejected just before it crashed into the lunar surface. A message to the galaxy. The battle raged for 6 hours before the Zorathian fleet finally retreated, leaving behind 17 destroyed warships and taking heavy damage to many others. Luna Station survived, its shields holding long enough for reinforcements to arrive. More importantly, the galaxy had witnessed something unprecedented. A primitive species had bloodied the nose of the mighty Zorathian Council. As reports of the battle spread throughout civilized space, other species began to whisper questions they had never dared ask before. If humans could fight the Council's fleet to a standstill, what did that say about Zorathian invincibility? For the first time in thousands of years, the foundation of the Council's power began to show cracks. High Regent Kelvox retreated to the edge of the solar system, his pride wounded more than his ships. "Prepare the main battle fleet," he ordered, through gritted teeth. "These humans want a war? We'll give them extinction." The galaxy awakens news of humanity's victory at Luna Station spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On dozens of worlds ruled by the Zorathian Council, alien species gathered in secret to discuss what many had thought impossible. The mighty Council fleet had retreated from a battle against primitives who had only recently discovered faster-than-light travel. Ambassador David Knox received the first message 3 days after the battle. His diplomatic station orbiting Europa had become an unexpected hub of galactic communication as various species reached out to humanity for the first time. The message came from the Kalanian Republic, a peaceful trading civilization that had been forced under Council rule 50 years earlier. "Humans of Earth," the holographic Kalanian representative began, her crystalline features shimmering with hope. "We are Counselor Thyra of the Kalanian worlds. Your courage at Luna Station has inspired something we thought lost forever, the possibility of freedom. We wish to discuss mutual cooperation against our common oppressor." Similar messages arrived hourly from across the galaxy. The Vorthon mining guilds, The Nexari research collectives, and even warrior species like the draconic clans, began making contact. Each had spent decades or centuries under Council domination, and humanity's defiance had awakened their own buried desire for independence. Admiral Wells takes command. Admiral Patricia Wells stood in the command center of the newly constructed Battle Station Freedom's Edge, positioned strategically between Mars and the asteroid belt. She had spent the last week coordinating humanity's expanding defensive network while preparing for the Council's inevitable counterattack. Admiral, long-range sensors are detecting massive energy signatures approaching from the outer system, reported Communications Officer Ryan Torres. It's a fleet at least 5 times larger than the first attack force. Wells studied the tactical display with grim determination. She was a veteran of the colony wars who had earned her rank through decades of protecting human settlements from pirates and hostile environments. Now she faced the greatest military challenge in human history. "Signal all fleet commanders," she ordered. "Execute Operation Prometheus. It's time to show the galaxy what human ingenuity really looks like." Across the solar system, hidden facilities that had masqueraded as research stations suddenly revealed their true purpose. Massive particle accelerators built into asteroid tunnels began charging exotic matter weapons. Camouflaged shipyards released fleets of vessels that combined human engineering with salvaged alien technology from the first battle. The battle for Mars High Region Kelvox arrived with 800 warships, determined to crush human resistance once and for all. His fleet included vessels from 12 different Council species, each contributing their most advanced weapons to ensure complete victory. "This time there will be no retreat," Kelvox announced to his commanders. "We will reduce every human world to ash and glass. Let this be a lesson to any species that dares question Council authority." The battle began as Zorathian forces moved toward Mars, expecting to overwhelm the Red Planet's defenses through sheer numerical superiority. What they found instead was a carefully prepared trap that demonstrated humanity's rapid adaptation to galactic warfare. Captain Vale led the first wave of human ships from concealed positions among the Martian moons. His vessel, now upgraded, with captured alien shielding technology, struck at the enemy formation's weak points while specialized human fighters swarmed around the massive Council ships. "Remember," Vale broadcast to all human forces, "we don't need to destroy them all. We just need to prove they can bleed." Engineer Morrison's modified cargo vessels emerged from the asteroid belt, their hulls bristling with railguns that fired projectiles at relativistic speeds. The kinetic bombardment struck the alien fleet before they could adjust their defensive patterns, proving that human tactics had evolved far beyond the Council's understanding. Unexpected allies. The tide of battle shifted dramatically when the Idurer first non-human ships appeared alongside humanity's forces. The Kalanian Republic had sent a small but advanced fleet, equipped with advanced sensor technology that could penetrate Zorathian stealth systems. Their arrival was followed by Vorthan mining ships converted into missile platforms and Nexari vessels equipped with experimental weapons. "This is impossible," Admiral Vorthak screamed as his flagship shuddered under combined fire from 5 different species. "The Council has ruled for 5,000 years. These primitives cannot defeat us." But defeat was exactly what the once mighty Council was experiencing. Human tactics, combined with the desperate courage of newly liberated species, proved more effective than overwhelming force alone. The alien alliance had numbers, but humanity and its allies had something the Council had never faced: the determination of those fighting for their freedom. Ambassador Knox coordinated the multi-species assault from his command post, translating between different communication systems and ensuring all forces could work together effectively. "All Allied vessels focus fire on the command ships," he directed. "Cut off their coordination and they'll fall apart." Victory and revelation. After 18 hours of continuous battle, the Zorathian fleet began its second retreat in living memory. Nearly half their ships had been destroyed or captured, and the remainder fled toward the outer system with human forces in pursuit. As the smoke cleared around Mars, the galaxy witnessed something that would be remembered for millennia. A species that had been dismissed as primitive savages had not only defeated the Council's main battle fleet but had also inspired a rebellion that was spreading across dozens of worlds. High Regent Kelvox stared at his tactical displays in disbelief. His empire, built on the foundation of absolute dominance, was crumbling as species after species declared independence and joined humanity's growing alliance. "Sir," Admiral Vorthak reported quietly, "we're receiving surrender requests from 14 Council member species. They're abandoning their posts and requesting asylum with the humans." The galaxy had turned upside down. The Zorathian Council, rulers of known space for 5 millennia, were learning what every human child knew from studying Earth's history. Empires built on oppression eventually face those who refuse to kneel. The final gambit. High Regent Kelvox stood alone in his private chambers aboard the crippled flagship, staring at reports of rebellion spreading across every corner of his crumbling empire. 37 species had declared independence in the past week, and more defected daily. The mighty Zorathian Council that had ruled the galaxy for 5 millennia was collapsing like a house of cards. "My lord," Admiral Vorthak entered hesitantly, his 4 eyes filled with desperation. "The Inner Council demands we retreat to Zorathian Prime and consolidate our remaining forces. They believe we can still salvage the core worlds." Kelvox turned slowly, his metallic skin dulled with defeat. "No. If we retreat now, we will be remembered as the generation that lost the galaxy to primitives. Prepare the Annihilator Fleet. We end this at their homeworld." The Annihilator Fleet was the Council's ultimate weapon, a collection of planet-killer ships that had been used only twice in galactic history to completely sterilize rebellious worlds. Kelvox was gambling everything on one final, devastating strike against Earth itself. Humanity's greatest test captain Marcus Vale received the emergency alert while his battle-scarred ship underwent repairs at the Luna orbital shipyards. Intelligence. Reports indicated that the Zorathian Council was bringing their most powerful weapons toward Earth, intending to destroy humanity's homeworld as an example to the galaxy. "All ships capable of flight, this is Captain Vale," he broadcast across all human frequencies. "The aliens are coming with everything they have left. This is our final stand. Today we decide whether humanity survives or becomes a legend told by others." Admiral Wells coordinated the defense from her command ship, now surrounded by vessels from 20 different allied species. The Kalanian Republic had sent their entire fleet, while the Vorthan guilds contributed massive fortress ships converted from mining platforms. Even the proud draconic clans had pledged their ancient warships to defend the world that had sparked galactic freedom. Ambassador Knox worked frantically to coordinate the multi-species alliance, his diplomatic station becoming the nerve center for the largest military coalition in galactic history. "All allied commanders remember our strategy," he transmitted. "We're not trying to match their firepower. We're trying to prove that free peoples fighting together are stronger than any empire." The battle for Earth, the Zorathian Annihilator Fleet emerged from hyperspace like a metal storm, their massive ships blotting out the stars around Earth. Each vessel was the size of a small moon, equipped with weapons that could crack continents and boil oceans. 50 of these monstrous ships had come to erase humanity from existence. "By the ancient codes," whispered Draconic Fleet Commander Fextar as his serpentine crew watched the enemy formation, "I have lived 800 years and never seen such firepower assembled in one place." The battle began with the aliens' devastating opening salvo. Energy beams capable of destroying cities lanced toward Earth's defensive platforms, only to splash harmlessly against revolutionary shielding technology developed through human-alien cooperation. Dr. Cross's exotic matter research, combined with Kalanian energy manipulation and Vorthon structural engineering, had created defenses unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. "Impossible," Kelvox screamed as his planet-killer weapons failed to penetrate Earth's shields. "No, defense can withstand Annihilator-class firepower." Captain Vale led the counterattack with a fleet of small fast ships equipped with weapons that defied galactic understanding. Human creativity had merged with alien knowledge to produce technologies that bypassed traditional defenses entirely. His fighters dove through the massive alien formations like schools of fish attacking giant predators. The legendary stand. What happened next would be remembered throughout the galaxy for thousands of years. Captain Marcus Vale, piloting a small fighter against impossible odds, somehow penetrated the flagship's defenses and delivered a critical strike to its main reactor. His ship was destroyed in the explosion, but his sacrifice crippled the enemy command structure. The sight of their tiny ship standing against the massive alien fortress inspired every human and allied vessel in the battle. Ordinary cargo pilots flew their ships directly into enemy guns, while mining engineers used their equipment to tear apart alien hulls. The determination of free peoples fighting for their homes proved stronger than any weapon. Engineer Morrison, commanding a converted asteroid base, managed to ram his entire facility into one of the planet killer's ships. "For humanity," he broadcast, as his sacrifice destroyed both vessels. "For freedom, Empire's end,